Format and standard, this is basically bibliographic record format. Bibliographic record format are used to describe the arrangement or structure of a computer readable record of bibliographical items. Time of format, there are two concepts here. One is local format or internal format, and exchange communication interchange. Certain creation and development of the bibliographic database raises hope on developing a universal bibliographical system through the cooperation of the several national and international organizations. Data generation and exchange take place at different levels, that is international, national, regional, and local level. Now, format is concerned. In the UNISYST reference manual, machine readable bibliographic record is defined as a collection of information which part into a single document and which is stored in a machine readable form as a self-contained and unique logical structure. Format conveys the notation of formalized framework or structure which will hold record of varying content according to certain set of rule or convention controlling the representation of data. This is basically formatting. Now, in bibliographical record format are used to describe the arrangement or structure of computer readable record of bibliographical item. The essential component of a bibliographical item is the description of document itself in relation to the author, title, publisher. Choice of element. Choice of element means what is you are going to take. Is the author would be the priority, title would be the priority, or which one? A unique record identifier of the document is required. You have to ascertain unique one identifier of a document. Means the lead element. What will be the lead element of a document? Means through which you can immediately identify this is that document. Then descriptors representing the subject matter of the document selected from the standard list of subject heading or thesaurus. This is the last one. Now, in type of format, we have already discussed the internal and local and exchange and communication interchange format. There is two different, one for the local and one for the international or exchange of data. Now, here is the exchange of data is concerned. Internal format we have already discussed here, and in exchange format are also known as the interchange communication format. Exchange format are used for the exchange of records between systems. Ideally, they should facilitate the exchange of data which are to be used in a wide range of different bibliographical applications for the production of traditional catalog card to record in database, which are used for online access. Now, exchange formats, structure and content. Exchange of data consists of three basic components. They are a defined physical structure, rule for the arrangement of the data to be exchanged. This may be linked to a container of carrier into which data may be placed. Content designator. What will be the content designator? Code to identify the different data elements, and rules. Content of the records governed by rules for the formulation of the different data elements, very closely tied up with the content designator. So, three important aspects in the exchange formats. Now, this is a structure. Record is in automated system may be a fixed length or a variable length. Fixed length record in a file must contain the same field, and any given field must always be the same length of a record to another. So you need to have a same length for the record. Many fields occur only from time to time. For example, title, subtitle, ISSN, edition. Here you can see it's occur sometimes. Sometimes you will find title is common, ISSN is a common. Edition, sometimes it's come, it may not come. Because in first edition, normally people are not written edition. Many fields occur at a variable number of time in the records. Data element may be vary length between records. This is true in the most systems which do not code their data but record them in an ordinary language, in a natural language. Here is a now content designator. Content designator are the to denote the identity of each data. Basically, content designator, what exactly they will do when field is segregated. When your field is segregated, it asserts the code, denote entity, a kind of code on that. So it's basically called pointer kind of thing, which content designator. It designates. Here you can see in MARC 21, this for example, type of code used in the content of a record. Tag 3-digit numbers 001 001s to 999 to encode field. That is, suppose you want to ascertain number for the personal name, then you have to put 100. Here indicated 2 possible percentage field. That is, yes, special. Suppose you have a surname, you need to put the surname first. So 100 1 is equal to surname, or 1A is equal to the given name. You can, this is subfield concept. Another subfield concept you can understand when you have a title and you have a subtitle also. Title will be the main and the subtitle will be the will come as a subfield concept. So these are the very much useful in different codification system of a standard. Now, content designator is an inclusive term used to refer to tag, indicator, and subfield code. The 3 kind of content designator: tag, indicator, and subfield. Everywhere, wherever, it could be the MARC, Unimarc, MARC 21, Usmarc, even CCF, you will find the same features they followed, even Isbd and ISO. Bibliographic standard, the basic need of the bibliographical standard is to have bibliographical control, which facilitates comprehensive and transfer of bibliographical data between bibliographical agencies and national and international level. So if you talk about who is the bibliographical agency? Bibliographical agencies in India is the National Library of India. International, they are in the process of international, but nobody has recognized that is the international. But Isbd people are much more into the international control of data. Here, International Standard Bibliographical Description, this body is the set of rules produced by International Federation of Library Association and Institutions. ILFA. It's internet. IFLA. It should be IFLA. Federation of Library Association or Institutes, to describe wide range of library material within the context of the catalog. It's recognized as a standard for library community, but statement of principle are also used for archive, museum, and other communities. International Standard Bibliographical Description. This is the concept. And International Federation of Library Association. International Federation of Library Association and Institution. This is IFLA, IFLA, International Federation of Library Association. I will tell you, this is one of the finest library organizations throughout the world. It led, it created, it motivated, it thought about the librarianship in the world. So they have created that ISBD, International Standard Bibliographical Description concept. This is nothing. This is a kind of set rules to follow for the bibliographical description. Standard for the description of all types of published material. Make it easier, describe resource that share characteristics of some more than one format. Useful for the automation of bibliographical control and economic necessity of sharing cataloging. Useful and applicable for bibliographical description of all kinds of bibliographical resources. So these are the benefits from that. Now, how it's acted as a standard. Designed to facilitate the international exchange of cataloging record by, then specifying the elements which comprise a bibliographical description, standardizing the element to be used in the description, prescribing the order in which those elements should be presented, assigning an order to element in ISBD, the punctuation by which they should be demarcated, specifying a system of symbol to be used in punctuating the element. So whenever you are element here, element, you just remember what exactly they are meaning. The element means it's a, if you split the bibliographical data of a document, suppose author, title, imprint means publishers, and a year of publication and the place of publishing, then physical description, pagination, these are called basically elements. How you are going to indicating each of them and how you are going to connecting each of them. Suppose many of the reference books, in many of the books you will find in reference section the author name of surname of the author came, then the after name, then in the bracket you will find the year of publications of the book, then the title, then colon, then semicolon, then comma, kind of thing. So this is basically punctuation marks. Now, what is the objective of the ISBD? To prepare a consolidated and updated ISBD form and specialized ISBD in order to meet the needs of catalog and other user bibliographical information. To provide consist stipulation for description of all type of resources to the extent that uniformity is possible, and specific stipulations for specific type of resources and require describing those resources. To maintain ISBD, which is intended to serve as a principal standard to promote universal bibliographical control, to make universally and promptly available in the form that internationally acceptable basic bibliographical data for the published resource in all countries. That's the major concern. Now, what is the main goal? To offer consistency when sharing bibliographical information. So at the end of the day, you could understand the main purpose of the standard is to create a kind of consistency in sharing the bibliographical information. And bibliographical information is very important information. It doesn't look like so much importance, but it's important. I will tell you, if stock exchange is a mirror of a national economy, then bibliography record is the mirror of the national knowledge level. That's the basic similarity between the stock exchange and the bibliographical national bibliographic system by a national library. Now, what is the ISBD purpose? To provide the stipulations for compatible descriptive catalog worldwide to aid the international exchange of bibliographic records between national bibliography agencies. Now, what are the aims? Make a record from different sources interchangeable. So every record need to be interchangeable. Assist in the interpretation of record across language barrier. That is the biggest challenges in article description, the language. How could we come up with a language barrier? Because thousands of language, if we do not follow the standard, we could not understand what is the data element. That's why the ultimate approach to that. To assist in the conversion of the bibliographical record to electronic form. Enhance interoperability with the other content standard. What are the scope? Where exactly this concept going to be applied? These are the printed text, cartographic resources, electronic resources, moving image, multimedia resources, notated music resources, sound recording, still image, engraving, photograph, etc. So almost it's covered all the media of information. Now, what are the elements in ISBD? Title and statement of responsibility. Title proper assigned to an information package by a person responsible for its existence, additions, statement about the version of the information package, material or type of resources in specific area, data about particular type of information package, scale of map and numbering of periodical, publication, production, distribution, etc., name of the entity that is responsible for the presentation and packaging of that information. Now, what are the element in the ISBD? It's a physical description, number of pages, number of CDs issued as a unit, series, title of any series of which the information package is part, note, added information to the description to provide useful information, resource identifier, the number of records in this area are internationally agreed standard number, ISBN or ISSN, international standard book number, international standard serial number. These are applied for the book and the serial, ISSN. Now, what is the family of the ISBD? ISBD, General International Standard Bibliographical Description. Then it is monographic, then on printed music, then on non-book material, then it is on cartographic material. Cartographic, you know, it's a when map kind of thing is coming up. So non-book material, today's date, non-book materials is very much popular, and printed music also very often you can find. So these are the family of. So whenever you are thinking about the ISBD, so these are the component of ISBD which can give you some sort of brief information on different aspects of different media, right? On monographic, printed music, non-book material, and cartographic material, right? This is and other thing also, international monograph publications, serials, electronic resources, computer file, continuing resources, compact part, ISBD, compact part description. So these are the family of ISBD. Now, what are the benefits? Protect all publication which includes printed and non-printed materials. Enable library to acquire catalog data that is predictable and reliable. Transform a bibliography from paper to electronics form. Increased opportunities for national and international record sharing. Reduce the cost of cataloging. Increase international cooperative and projects. Cloud share responsibility for ongoing maintenance of standard for serial and joint problem solving. These are the benefits of the ISBD. Same concept, same ideas is applied in another organization, International Organization for Standardization, ISO 2709. Here you can see this is a kind of organization who are rigorously busy with the standard of everything in the art. What would be the standard? Now, this is an international organization for standardization. It is world's largest developer and publisher of international standard. It is developed in 23rd February 1947 when we got independent. Standard organization is International Organization for Standardization. ISO 2709 is an international format for information interchange. Now you can understand, in ISO is an organization where there is a number, because ISO only standardize the process, not the product. What will be a process? Suppose we are preparing tea, and when you are preparing tea, what will be the process? That process being standardized, and ISO is doing that. Why it is important? So if you follow the same process for same production, so the result will come the same level. So that's why it's only standardize the process. Here 2709 is specifically for the information interchange. It is the world's largest developer, publishers, and international standard. ISO gives world-class specification for product, service, system, ensure quality, safety, and efficiency. Now, international standard make things work. History and development of ISO. It was the first created as an ANSI, American National Society for Informations. One of the first standard for the information technology and called information interchange format, developed by Henriette Avram in late 1960s. First version was published in 1973, revised and second edition was published in 1981. Latest version is that 2018, ISO 2709. Now the ISO story began in 1946 when delegates from 25 countries met at the Institute of Civil Engineering in London and decided to create a new international organization to facilitate the international coordination and unification of industrial standard. So that time there was a very unstructured system was going on throughout the world. But the process was not getting one standard or on one fixed process. Every company, different, the multinational setup, they follow different rules for producing different kind of things. So they meet together and they finally they find some kind of idea how they proceed. Because if there is a one product, that product, if it is the finest product, that need to be the process need to be followed same by all over the world. So that's the motto behind that. Have a member of 162 countries, almost all countries, and 784 technical committees and subcommittees to take care of standard development. More than 135 people work full-time secretariat in Geneva, Switzerland. So you can, their head office in Switzerland. Now, what are standards? A standard is a technical document designed to be used as a rule, guidelines, or definitions. It is consensus, bit, repeatable way of doing something. A standard is an agreed way of doing something. It could be about making a product, managing a process, delivering a service, or supply materials. Standard can cover huge range of activities undertaken by the organizations and used by their customer. The ISO has published 22,286 international standard and related document covering almost every industry. So that means you can understand every industry in its umbrella. They have created process and product services for everything. ISO international standard gives impact on everyone, everywhere. So you can have here in India also the process. You have seen in India there is the only library, Madras, Chennai, IIT Chennai library is the only library which is ISO standard library. So there they have, because if you applied for the ISO standard, they will tell you these are the process you have to follow. After following, they will check and they will evaluate it time to time, and they will give you a certificate. Okay, your library now is standard, ISO standard library. You are following the same standard for your services. So standardizing process. A standardizing published ISO IEC is the last stage of long process that commonly state with the proposal of new work within the committee. Here are some abbreviations of the making standard with the state. PWI, preliminary work item. NP or NWIP, new proposal, new work item proposal. AWI, approved new work item. These are the standard being used in the ISO. WD, work draft. CD, committee draft. FCD, final committee draft. DIS, draft international standard. FDIS, final draft international standard. PRF, proof of a new international standard. IS, international standard. So these are the acronyms being used in the ISO. The general structure of bibliography record consists of 4 major parts in ISO: record level, directory level, data level, and record separator. Here you can see one by one. Record level. contain data that identify to the system the type of record content necessary for the processing of the record, such as the total number of character, length in the record, and the length of various elements of record. 24 character fixed length field to every record contain various subunit and each have values according to the record directory. Content designator for each data field, followed by an indications of position in the record where the data relating to that field start and the length of the field. If a field is separated, it has two entries in the directory, one for each appearance. Now, directory structure. Tag, a 3-character code identifying the data field which corresponds to directory. Length of the data field. A 4-digit number showing how many characters are occupied with the data field, including indicator and the data field separator code, if the data field is in the last field in the record. Starting character position, a 5-digit number giving to the positions of the first character of the data field related to the base address of the data, the first character of the data field. Segment identifier. The single character is chosen 0 to 9 or A to Z, which designate the data field as being member of the particular segment. Now, occurrence identifier. A single character chosen 0 to 9, A to Z, alphabet or numeric, which differentiates multiple occurrence of the same tag within the same record segment. Then data field. A variable length, a portion of a particular category of data association with one entry in the directory. A data field can be contained one of the more subfields. The last component are for the content of the data element, varies according to the way different data element prescribed by the rule and divided up separately identified by the format. Now, in data field structure, you will find indicator is a 2-character, subfield identifier is a 2-character, subfield is variable. It's sometimes it can, it may not. Field separator is 1 character. These are the structure of a data. Then record separator. The final character of each record, this will always be a single character. Here you can see some of the examples. Record length 5 character, record status 1, this is blank, bibliographical level 1, blank, indicator length 1, subfield length 1. This is the way they have created character and level. This is a data structure. Here you can see the 3 character, 4 character, 5 character, 1 character, 1 character. Now look, in tag 3 character, the 3-character code identifying the data field which corresponds to the directory entry. Now here in 4 character, in 4-digit number showing how many characters are occupied the data field, including the indicator and data field separator, but excluding the record separator code if the data field is in the last field in the record. Then in 5-character, string character position, here you can see a 5-digit number giving the positions of the first character of the data field relative to the base address of a data. This is the first character of the data field. Then segment identifier. Here 1 character, a single character chosen from 0 to 9 or A to Z, which design the data field as a being member of the particular segment. Then occurrence identifier, a single character choosing from 0 to 9 or A to Z, which different multiple occurrence of the data field that carry the same tag within the same record segment. So that's the directory structure. Here in data field structure, you can see indicator is a 2-character, subfield indicator identifier is a 2-character, subfield variable, field separator 1 character. Now here is the example. If you see 00101 AM, this is a 24 character. The character, for example, indicates following the sequence. Total number of characters in the record. Record status, here indicate the record. Blank space, bibliographical level monograph. Here, this example could be more easy over here. You can see here, this is the record label. The character in the example data field indicate the following sequence. This is a data, this is a field separator, this is indicator, this is subfield indicator, this is data, name, this is subfield indicator, then data, this is a field separator, 00 is the indicator, @ of A is a subfield identifier, fruit, data, delta, hash is a field separator, and percentage is a record separator. This is an example of data field. AARC2, the AACR2 is an example of such a standard, but it is not enough to prepare online catalog where we need to code the structure of bibliographic element to utilize the capabilities of the computer. We have devised format for this purpose, and MARC is an example of such format. MARC is a machine-readable catalog advised to Library of Congress. Now, MARC International Standard Bibliographical and IISF emphasis on the preparation of the uniform standard bibliographic record. Now you understand MARC and Isbd both come forward, and they have their emphasis in preparation of the uniform standardized bibliographical record. Then standard for machine readable format, MARC and MARC 21. So MARC, standard for machine readable catalog, we have MARC 21, Usmarc, UK MARC, Unimarc Ccf. So today we cover MARC itself. MARC format is most necessary. We type different library, provision of the duplication of work, better sharing of bibliographical resource, and bibliographical control of international level. So MARC record is a machine readable catalog record. It is format standard for the storage and exchange of the bibliographic record and related information in machine. A description of item, many entry and added entries, subject heading, and the classification of all number. What is a MARC record? A MARC record is a machine readable catalog card. It is a format standard for the storage and exchange of bibliographical record and related information in machine. Machine readable means that one particular type of machine, a computer can read, interpret the data in the cataloging record. Then cataloging record means a bibliographic record for the information traditionally shown on a catalog card. The record includes, not necessarily in this order, a description of the item, main entry of added entries, subject heading, and the classification or call number. This is cataloging record. Now, description. Librarian follow the rules in Anglo-American cataloging rules, second 2002 version, compose the bibliographical description of a library item. It includes the title, statement of the responsibility, edition, material, specific detail, publication, information, physical description, series, note, standard, number, and keywords. Main entry and added entries in Asia 2 also contain rule of determining access point to the records, referred to as a main entry as other added entries. And I'll just tell you what exactly do you mean by main entry and added entry. Main entry means that you will find the all elements of a bibliographical data will be there. But in added entries, what happens? Most specific thing can be taken out. If there is a book, descriptive, the description of a books appeared, that it's a books on economics, then immediately we'll assign a subject heading economics, and that book could be arranged on the basis of the subject. That could be on the basis of the alphabetical order also. But that's basically the added entries concept. Subject heading, you can follow the share list of subject heading. It's a book which help. It's a kind of thesaurus, kind of dictionary, which help to assigning a subject heading for a particular document. It's a widely used the subject heading tool. Then classification and call number. We have already told that the classification and call number has an impact in bibliographical, but more often it is based on the subject enrichment of a particular document, right? So what is the importance of the MARC? MARC is most necessary to type of libraries, prevention the duplication of the work, better sharing of bibliographical resource, and bibliographical control at international level. That's the main importance of MARC, machine readable catalog. Then MARC terminology. The described MARC record, we need to first understand the terminology associated with the signpost. The information from a catalog card is not simply typed into the computer to produce automated catalog. The computer means an interpretation that information on a catalog record. The MARC record contains guide to its data. Basically, that is that. The MARC record contains a guide to its data, which is called as signpost. Before each piece of bibliographical information, the following is up. Let's if there is a yes. There is a signpost is that main entry of a personal author. Here you can see title and the statement of responsibility, title proper, statement responsibility. Here you can see MARC and team, Richard J. Barner. Make the team, Richard J. Barner. Then edition first. Then publication is Boston, Brown. Publisher name is Brown. Physical description, here you can see 127 page number, and this is illustrations. Illustrations first, the first free page. So this is a signpost and this is a data. So you can understand how data being taken out through the signpost. Here, record is the textual signpost field. Each bibliographical record is divided into field, means there is a field for the author, title, etc. These fields are again subdivided into one or more subfields. Each field is represented by a tag. I will tell you, suppose there is an author name. So in the author name, you can see the author name by the name of the field name and the surname. At the same time, in title, you can divide it into two parts. One is the main title and the subtitle. In the series, you can see the name of the series, sometimes series number. So there also you find kind of a subfield. Indicator are one digit number, each tag followed by 2 character position. In some field, first or second position is used. In some field, both are used in the same field, like 020, 300. Neither is used when an indicator position is not used. That indicator is referred to as undefined, and it is to be marked. It is marked by character position hash. Each indicator value is a number from 0 to 9. This is the indicator. Then variable field. The data content of a record is divided into variable field. The MARC 21 format distinguishes 2 types of variable field: variable control field and variable data field. Variable control field consists of data and field terminator. The 00x field, 001 to 009 in this MARC 21 format are variable control field, variable data field, contain the textual information and describe the bibliographical item being cataloged. Here you will see the concept of subfield delimiters and subfield code. Within the subfield, there may be several related pieces of data. Each type of data within the field is called subfield. Each subfield is preceded by the subfield code. Subfield code are always lower cases letter, which is preceded by a delimiters. A delimiters is used to separate subfield, for example. In the field here, you can understand, I do not know, we have, yes. Here you can see the examples, data duplication. Here you will see it's an imprint. Imprint means the details of publication, publishers. So here you can see at the rate, $A is a New Delhi, $B Allied publisher, name of the publisher. So for the imprint 264, 264 you are taking as a record, a tag. Here in tag, hash is the indicated digit. And here you can see that subfield concept is $A, the place of publication, and $B, name of the publisher, and $C is a year of publication. Here, $ is a delimiter. So in MARC structure, the format of MARC structure includes leader, directory, and variable field, three basic components. Leader. The leader is first 24 character of the record. Each position has an assigned meaning, but much of information is a leader is for computer use. Leader provides information about the tune the record, such as the total length of the record, type of the record, code, and bibliographical label. Record directory immediately follow the leader. It directory being a directory tells what variable field are to be recorded and where the place is. So this is the way record directory usually worked. Then we'll come to the MARC 21. So that was the MARC. Then it's evolved to a MARC 21. So British Library has came and they have created UK MARC, and then US Library of Congress has came, and Library of Canada they have a meeting and they have created MARC 21. So it was a MARC war throughout the world. And at the end of the day, it's become US MARC, UK MARC, MARC. Then we have come into conclusion that no US, UK or anything. It will be the MARC 21, 21st century. And that will be the one standalone standard for bibliographical data exchange. Now, there are 5 types of MARC 21 format. Format for bibliographical data, format for authority data, format for holding data, format for classification data, format for community information data. These are 5 concepts in MARC 21. Here is the some kind of MARC record. Here you can understand tag, indicator, and subfield concept. Here, tag 0 to 0 has kept for that, and you will see 10 as an indicator, and $C, Richard. So it is a subfield. These are the basic components in the MARC record. Here is the US MARCs. US MARCs format a standard for the representation and communication of the bibliographic and related information in machine readable form. US MARC record involves 3 elements: the record structure, the content designation, and the data content of the record. The structure of the US MARCs record in implementation of national and international standard. That is bibliographical for information exchange, ANSI, and format for the bibliographical information interchange magnetic tape, ISO 2709. Then UK MARC. UK MARC format was developed preliminary in the facilitated production of the print British National Bibliography, and thus closely reflect the cataloging practice of the British Library. It is interpretation of the MARC Asia 2 and other standards. Distinction can, however, be drawn between the UK MARC format as a national format, and it is used by the National Library in preparing the record for the National Bibliographic and UK MARC manuals to make such a distinctions. Unimarc was established a brainchild of ITLA. It was conceived for the tool for an international network, although the record structure was become ISO 27. So Isbd has greater influence. Now, common communication format, it was used in the 1990s, 80s. They have started through the UNICIST. It has started in the year 1978, but in India we have used in 1980s and 1970s, 90s. And we usually, whenever we are creating different kind of database, we used to keep the CCF common communication format, but it is obsolete now. Nobody using this one. So these are the international standard. Now, how far is India take behind? So India has ISI or BSI, Bureau of Indian Standard, and previously it was ISI. In this direction resulted designed bibliographic of standard 11307, 1985 title, Guide for the Data Element and Record Format for Computer-Based Bibliographical Description of Different Kind of Document in July 1986. Structure of the format confirmed ISO 2709 in 1981. Structure of IEC 77307, the general structure of the bibliographic record format given below. Leader, directory, data field, and record separator. This is almost like that.